Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And this is it, guys. The last stop on the Terror in the Isles challenge. Today we're going to be talking about an odd one for the challenge, and that's Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica is a 1978 film which runs approximately 125 minutes if you saw it in theaters, which I did with my dad. But this version of it right here runs 2 hours and 5 minutes. Now, this was directed by Richard A. Cullen. Now, he was responsible for Fuzz and a bunch of TV. Now, this stars Richard Hatch as Captain Apollo. He passed away on February 2nd, 2017 at the age of 71. He was in Dead by Friday, Chatter, and Dead by Friday. Didn't I just say that? Dirk Benedict as Lieutenant Starbuck. He was in Space Ninjas, Recon 7, and Alaska. He was also in the movie And Lauren Green as Commander Adama. He passed away on September 11th, 1987 at the age of 72. He was in Earthquake, North of the Surf, and a ton of TV. Now, the budget on this was $3 million. And Don Johnson was originally offered the role of Starbuck. And I could see him playing that role, especially since he went on, 6 years later to play in Miami Vice. Kind of a similar role, maybe? Kind of. But Dirk Benedict fit this role perfectly. He went on to play a similar role in the A-Team. Battlestar Galactica. Now, I'm not going to get into a synopsis of this. If you have never experienced Battlestar Galactica, the original series, or the movie, or Galactica 1980, which most people don't consider an actual part of Battlestar Galactica, it seems, but I do. Go check it out. It's what was originally called the poor man's Star Wars. I don't feel that way. And what better way to end this challenge than to go with something that I really love? I cannot remember this being in the TV version, but apparently it was because Joe showed me clips from it. Granted, they are very, very few clips, but they're still in the TV version. And what better way to end the challenge than with something Joe has never seen or experienced? Something I get to share with him. Something that is very nostalgic from my childhood. I love Battlestar Galactica. Like I said, I saw it in the movie theaters, along with Buck Rogers and, a few others. And I religiously watched the series every week. I actually like the remake series too. It took me a while to kind of get on board that train because how dare they touch Battlestar Galactica? Us fans, we kind of embrace certain things and are reluctant to let go. But I do like the remake series a lot. This is something you definitely need to experience. I'm going to get to my relatable recommendation, and I went with something a little different and something a little goofy because we're ending a Terra in the Isles challenge with Battlestar Galactica. And the last few movies, Taxi Driver and The Deer Hunter, which actually do have horrific things in them, aren't exactly known for being horror films. I'm going to go with Oblivion. Why am I going with Oblivion? Well, I kind of always thought that Battlestar Galactica was a Western in space. Not as much as, say, shows like Firefly, but just the way they wore their pistols, and if you watch the remake of the series, you kind of get that also. It's a military show, but ends up being almost like a gunslinger type show. in space. That's just my opinion. And Oblivion is a space cowboys and aliens sort of show movie that kind of fits the bill in my opinion. And everyone always considered Battlestar Galactica the poor man's Star Wars. I feel like a lot of people consider Full Moon the B movie horror sort of company, which a lot of people do. Check out Oblivion. Check out Battlestar Galactica. And I wanted to thank everyone for your comments, your heartfelt comments, and just everyone who watches our video. And a special thank you to Joe. It's funny, when we were talking one time, this was around the time when Terror in the Owls came out on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. We were talking about Terror in the Owls, and I said, you know, Joe, I have an idea if you want to participate. And it was along the same lines as Fangoria. And he told me, he said, and I don't remember verbatim, but I remember him saying, you know, I think you and I have the same idea, even before I told him what it was. And then, not just doing the movies from the theatrical version of Terror in the Owls, which Joe and I grew up with, and was so important to both of us, but doing the television version as well, which I actually did not see. Well, I probably saw it when I was younger, but I really was able to embrace the television version when Scream Factory put out the Blu-ray. I want to thank Joe for doing this challenge with me. I want to thank Joe for this CED video disc, which has given me so much pleasure, and it's just a part of my childhood rediscovered, because when I grew up, it was before VHS was really popular, before beta, and what did you have? You had CED video discs. Now, we already had VHS, but CED was the new thing that was going to take over the world, and it didn't. Let me show you the back of this. This is so cool. Yeah, my father and I bought a lot of these. We rented a lot of these, and they weren't cheap. But I don't know, it's just a part of my childhood that I will never forget. And when Joe told me he bought this for me, and it came to my door, it was hard to keep from not getting misty-eyed, because it had been so long since I held one of these. They meant a lot to me growing up. This is what started me on my journey to what you see now. You know, my knowledge of movies, my love of horror, and just movies in general. So thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. I know I'm rambling, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone once again. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.